So,
excellent.
We can start this sound speed, camera speed, and action. Welcome to another episode of For Those Who Apply with Ed Stanley. I am your host, Ed Stanley. Thank you very much. Today I am sitting with Bryan and Eric of the band Seas, bringing forth very soon their most highly anticipated release to date, and for a multitude of reasons. First off, how you gentlemen doing?
Pretty good. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby is better than bad. So you guys had promised, or not promised, I shouldn't put that much pressure on you guys, but you were intending to release this album that you have concocted for fall of 2013. I just really want to know what happened from January of 2013 to now, as abbreviated as you want to put it, or what kind of life has happened to you guys since then.
No, there was like a number of factors, I'd say.
I think I forgot it all.
Yeah, you forgot it all.
I think I just drank too much.
Basically, when it came to like writing the album, we did it all in about a year. So, where we were at that point, we were thinking like, well, if we wrote it in a year, it won't take that long to record, and then we'll have the album done and it'll be out. So, with that plan, then like, I started traveling a lot for my job. I had a child. Eric switched jobs.
Just a lot of little things happening,
and
a lot of life happenings.
Time where it's like we could have
not to make like a ton of excuses. I mean, I'm sure we could have come home and just pounded it out every night and but there was like
that just didn't happen.
So many hours, seriously. And I do like video editing for my job. So sometimes when I come home after like 10 or 12-hour day of like video editing, the last thing I want to do is sit in front of a computer again and just hash out whatever. So that kind of just like added a lot of time onto it. And then there's one more thing though. Like when I was going to do the vocals, I posted a few things online, but I had to get a dental implant.
Oh.
And
I fully even forgot about all this actually.
I didn't forget about it.
I know you didn't, but I did.
I remember it vividly. But they said it was supposed to take like 3 months, but it was like a 7-month ordeal. And like a lot of my friends were like, "Why don't you just scream with the dental?" And it was like wearing a retainer with a single tooth in it, and it was like my front tooth. So like even if I put any pressure on it, it would just like it would fly out, and I'd be like
projectile tooth.
Yeah. So when I finally got the tooth back in, then it was like, all right, vocals are on, whatever. So.
Wow.
But now we're there. We did it.
Yeah,
that's good.
It took 3 years. Next one will take. We got the next one done already.
Like, how do you guys feeling about the album now? Like, are you guys pretty satisfied with it? Is it what you guys wanted it to be?
We hate it.
Flush it down the toilet.
Get sick of it.
It was kind of tough because, listening to the whole thing now, it's much different to just hear like the whole product start to finish and actually be like, all right, that's kind of cool, as opposed to just working on a song like over and over again and hearing little parts and being like, oh my god, I can't like listen to this part again because we were doing it for years. You know? So now it's now it's nice to just hear it.
Yeah, it's not even like it's extreme prog technical album where we're sitting there getting every 30-second note perfect for 3 years, but it was just more like being meticulous about the songs and listening to them over and over again and just that kind of thing.
Arrangements too.
Yeah.
We had to keep changing some of the arrangements.
Yeah, some of the songs we just weren't happy with the way they like ended or what, I don't know.
So it sounds like it overgone plenty of revisions.
A ton of effort, things that will never matter.
Are you guys? I've read in on your website, the C's Download website, in some of your releases, you list your roster as a full band, and I was unsure if that was still the case. Are you guys still a full ensemble, drummer and all, or?
Right now, it's just me and Eric. It's turned into more of a collaboration because like he's in another band called 60 Grit. I'm in another band called Know Nothing that has another release coming out soon.
Oh, cool.
And that which is like more like punk rock hardcore version. But anyways, just like having all these friends around and whatever, it's just C's never kind of conglomerated into a solid band for more than like 5 years at a time. It was just so random. I mean, the first C's that I was in was talking about it like if we were a huge band. Was like back in like 2003 or something like that.
I didn't even know it.
So random, yeah. Like it. And like we just called it C's, and we had like these songs. One of the songs was Miracle, and then the rest of it was just other songs that we would never play now. But
yeah.
And then that kind of fell apart, and then it was me by myself, and then we got more musicians, and then that fell apart, and then there was me, Joel, Mark, just me, Joel, and Mark. And then we played with one other person for a while that did the end, and then it's just gone from there.
Wow! All right.
Yeah, so it's been like it's just like all my like a lot of my friends are musicians and whatnot. So now we all just kind of get together, but we write everything and just bring them in as add-ons or whatever.
It's cool. Bring a 6-pack and bring your axe, and we got a band.
Yeah, we know how to edit, so just play horrible. just hit something. It'll be good.
Leading from that question, I guess, what do you guys see like? I know you guys are super stoked about this release right now. What do you guys see next for you in the future? Like, is there any plans at all?
EP?
Yeah, I think we're going to do something something a little bit less lengthy, just so we don't take so much time to get it out, hopefully. Because that would be sad if it was an EP and it took us 3 years.
Yeah. There was one single called this song called The Kiln.
We do have a song we had to unfortunately can from the album because we just it didn't really work with everything, and it would have just taken us that much longer to get everything out.
It was an oddball song. It's like like Invertebrate or whatever, that track.
Yeah.
It would be like that in the middle of like the end. It would just be real weird.
I
mean, some people probably would have loved it, but I mean.
Well, plus because like a lot of this album is in F, and The Kiln is C or B.
It's a more normal, if you could say normal tuned song. It doesn't really fit with the layout we had for this album.
I see. Yeah, your Invertebrate was drop B, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
think most of it, wasn't it?
That was actually B standard.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
B standard.
Do you guys play extended range?
Yes.
7s or 8s?
6-string baritones, 7 strings, and 8 strings.
Oh, okay.
So a little bit of
a little bit of everything. That's cool.
6 string. I was gonna say the 6 string we had tuned like an 8 string was pretty. It was actually kind of obnoxious to play, but it helped me out because I like to write like a bunch of the riffs and whatnot, but I can't. I'm not a very good guitar player like at all. So like an 8 string or even a 7 string, I'm like, So I play like an extended range 6 string and just tuned it down like an F.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just it was like playing the back half of like the F, like an F tuned 8 string, but it was just awkward.
Just for rhythms, basically.
Yeah, just so I could like at least get ideas and
rocking the heavies. That's cool.
Yeah.
we tracked some of the songs with it, and then some of the songs were tracked with an 8-string Ibanez, and then there's only actually one 7-string tuned song on the album.
Yeah.
Most of it's all 8-string tunings.
Yeah, the 6-string is a 28-inch scale. Yeah, it's an Agile, the AB3000.
So, yeah, I think so.
Oh shit, that's
It's
fucking
sweet.
ballsy.
Yeah, it's weird when you hold it. You're like, whoa.
I see your studio is looking awfully spiffy behind you.
Studio's pretty standard. I run a Mac, and my DAW, I run Digital Performer. He runs Logic. I'm thinking of switching to Logic actually, so we can actually share shit for once. And then I just all I really have is an Avalon for my best pre, and then it just goes into a Motu unit. So it's nothing really crazy at all.
Okay.
Old school X3 that I use for nothing. But he has a bunch of stuff.
Cool.
I mean, the guitars we did XFX, XFX2. We tracked them all direct though. We didn't originally do XFX, so everything was just kind of direct in with whatever plug-in. And then once we got everything tracked, we ran it back out into XFX for guitars, bass. Like probably 90 to 95% of all the tones are like XFX2.
Yeah.
And then there's like some stuff that's just random sounds and a few things that we just kind of left plug-ins just for simplicity.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly just all the rhythm guitars, leads, bass, pretty much just XFX2 patches.
Yeah. I love doing the whole DI thing. I mean, I know it's been around for a while, but I mean, even like back when we did like the end, that was like direct guitars, so that wasn't DI. It was like kind of weird. Like that tone was that tone. It was like direct tone through the X3.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, this was
You couldn't reamp it though.
yeah.
So
We basically reamped on this for the, even though we didn't use a real amp per se. You know, we reamped through it. So
For just more tonal control qualities.
so we could change it afterwards.
because we tried it a few times, going for different patches, and we would, you know, like it, but then we would mix it a little bit and
And
go,
then
maybe we should change it a little bit.
If like the bass and drums changed, then it was like, no.
And that took some time too. That kind of slowed us down
Yeah.
doing shit like that.
Yeah, we saved like a lot of the mixing till the end, and like that was kind of a mistake because it was a lot all at once.
Yeah.
Like we should have just like
Track by
for
track.
For the rest of the stuff that we'll do, we'll just hack at it like as we go through it. But doing it that way was a serious pain in the ass. It really was.
I mean, that's kind of what you do.
Yeah, I guess, but
I guess it pays off in the end, and everyone's
Yeah,
highly
yeah.
anticipating it now.
maybe. Wait till you hear it though, it might be just like, you know, pain in your ears. Will be like, God, they worked on this? This sucks. What the hell were they talking about?
Come on.
It sounds like wet stacks of newspapers.
Soggy as fuck, yo. I dig your soggy tone, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Sappy pile of dookie. You were you were discussing like life as it happened, like leading up to this and such, and you're a family man now, and like
Yeah.
how is that with your family? Like they're obviously supportive of you and such, but is it like was it challenging really to establish like having
That's a good question. No, my
You have the kid.
yeah. Yeah. I know, right? Well, how do you feel about it, Eric?
Well, hanging out with your daughter.
Yeah. When she was really young, you know, You know, she was just there. She was, you know, just taking care of her, and you know, that didn't really interfere at all because, you know, like my wife and I, we had talked about it beforehand because it's like, you know, when we play, it's loud, and I mean, even if we're in the studio, like, this is just like down in the basement of my house. Don't come rob me. And like, you know, it's just like upstairs and down the hall, and there's like my daughter's room, you know. So like when we're mixing and stuff, you know, obviously blah blah blah. So the thing that my wife and I had talked about was, you know, well, if, you know, we do it right from the beginning, she'll be used to it. You know, if we don't shy away and be like, oh, don't be quiet around the baby, you know, then you know, she'll be totally used to it. And I mean, she's like, you know, my daughter's like the cutest little girl, and at this point, you know, she knows I play heavy metal. You know, she says I sing like a dinosaur, you know, that kind of thing, like rawr.
Make one mistake! My fucking violence flows like the waves!
Like I use the old school method of like actually screaming and hurting yourself.
Yeah.
It's not really that big of a deal, you know. Like most people are like, oh, you know, I never. One of my things was I never wanted to be like that guy that like talked about like when he used to play, you know, like, oh, you know, like back when I used to play or whatever. Like you can still play. You can be an old man and make your music. You know, you can be an old man and paint and do whatever. Just do it for your whole life if you really love it.
Yeah.
That was kind of sincere.
Probably.
No, that was great.
That's what it's all about.
Everybody's cool with it.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, support is definitely like numero uno for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't got that, you really don't have a thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the weird thing, we're talking about my wife, but my wife hates metal. She just can't stand it.
She's not a metalhead, that's for sure.
Hates it, which is funny. Huh?
But she doesn't give a fuck, really.
No, she doesn't care.
I wanted to talk about, like, you guys obviously, like, I want to assume that you guys have played live before, right? Will that ever be a thing later on down the road once you meet?
We've talked about it, but at this point, we'd need some really dedicated musicians to play with us.
It'd be nice for sure.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not opposed to anything like that. It's just a matter of getting it together.
Yeah.
It's really, at this point, it's kind of grown to be tough.
We haven't played live with C's in like 2.5 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
That's when we started writing it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of held it down. I myself haven't played live until that period, but he still at least plays live with his band.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I do some shows with another band. We're kind of a little bit more death metal influence type stuff, and it's kind of weird because we play more and we don't record a whole hell of a lot. And over here, I'm kind of recording more and not playing out as much. So it's kind of back and forth between those kind of things.
Gotcha.
So a little of each lately, but him.
I was talking about it the other day though. I do miss it. It was like really fun.
It's fun to do it once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, not kill yourself over it, but
yeah, it does get to be especially when you're like a nothing band and you're like playing like, you know, shows where there's not that many people, especially where we're in Connecticut. Connecticut's just the worst. But like Massachusetts has a good scene, in New York does, but
you kind of have to go a little ways.
But you play shows like you have to travel a little bit, and even then you're playing a shit show, and what are you gonna do, you know?
You sound like you have quite a few, Eric, playing in different types of like subgenres of metal. What are some bands that you guys look up to musically? Or
He's the real. I'm not the real metal.
No. I mean, I'm really all over the place. I mean, I do, you know, love all kinds of metal. You know, whether it be more in the vein of, say, Meshuggah and that type of stuff, or, you know, I have a lot of death metal bands I like, more old school, you know, death metal, thrash and stuff like that. But then I'll listen to almost anything, rock, old jazz, you know. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have something where it's like, this is it for me, you know, with music. It's just kind of like I listen to a lot of metal and all kinds of random stuff, I guess. And then I don't really let that affect me in terms of like what I want to write. I'm not like, oh man, I'm not going to write that. That's lame. I wouldn't listen to that or write something like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm like almost the opposite. Like I used to listen to more. To be honest with you, I used to listen to a lot more types of music, and now I'm just kind of like more going into metal and listen to that a lot more. I mean, I've always listened to heavy music. Don't get me wrong, but I used to be like way more into like Tool. It was like Tool, Radiohead, and Tori Amos for me, like that kind of stuff. And then like through the years, it was like Korn and Biohazard and Helmet, and then it was like Candiria and Meshuggah.
Yeah.
A little bit of Dillinger when they got the new singer, or when they got Mike Patton. That's when I started listening to them a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I started getting into more that kind of stuff.
Right. It's weird because like you're talking about like weaving in and out of like different types of genres depending on like where you are in your life. So that's kind of cool. So I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've always kind of been into like Candiria.
Yeah,
if you're familiar with any of their stuff, it's
that was kind of back
Brooklyn hardcore jazz hip hop.
Yeah, you would like that
type stuff,
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
If
you can get past the singer.
Yeah, I mean, well,
on like the first album.
Yeah.
Just not even necessarily screams. Just the recording of them was like super dry.
Yeah, the recordings weren't the best, but just what they were putting out there musically was just like, what are you guys doing?
Like way ahead of its time. And then like, there's a whole story. They got into a bad van accident. They kind of like
fell apart from there afterwards.
Oh shit!
But they were like, they were huge. It was like when Dillinger and Meshuggah and I think it was Candiria. It was like those three were getting huge. They were like one of those random bands where like. When I found out that he knew who they were, I was like, fucking Candiria. Yes, thank God somebody else knows them.
That's fucking cool. Come on, buddy. I've got electricity. I'm pimping. Ugh.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering where you were, because I was like,
I just saw myself getting closer and closer to the screen in order to illuminate my face. This works. I would say with all the time invested into this shouldn't not be like just another download off of your site.
Yeah.
I see that you guys
are not looking for money,
Yeah.
We're just looking to maybe get some mastering money back or something.
Some sort of return. Yeah.
That's about it, really.
The negative,
Yeah. Or just, money to keep it going, just rolling into another project, mastering wise and everything else,
Yeah, I'm sure any surplus that you guys do receive. I'm not sure if you guys even do you guys use Bandcamp anymore? Because I saw that the end is on there.
It should still be up. I get like a random $5 once in a while from that, which is kind of wild.
Right, and I was gonna say like any kind of surplus you guys get obviously just goes back into everything that you guys do. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and pretty much the only cost of it is really the time and then just mastering. So we just can't master. We just suck at
it. Thing.
What? Oh, and the beers.
Beers.
Yeah. It's another.
It's actually, we're weighing an egg on beers.
What the heck?
We need another 6-pack. Let's wait for someone to pay for our album again.
Who said the recording keeps getting in the way of our drinking sessions?
Yeah. our recording problem is getting in the way of our drinking sessions.
Perspective. Guys, this has been fun. Like the most gratifying thing that I get from this is just knowing that like people who I've been listening to for like years and being able to like sit down and talk to them and know that they aren't like a bunch of dickweed jerk off assholes, like that's fucking gratifying.
Well, you don't know that.
I don't, but I get good vibes.
Yeah, you didn't see him Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if you guys are wearing pants, so it's like.
You know what? I'm wearing shorts, but I shouldn't even be wearing pants right now.
Guys, this has been awesome. I appreciate your time doing this, and hopefully this isn't the last time I hear from you guys, and I'm highly anticipating a kick-ass release from you guys. What's the name of your guys' album? Do you guys have a name for it yet?
Yeah, we're calling it 3 Winters.
3 Winters.
Yeah, and it was originally like because like a bunch of people were like, "What does it have to do with winter?" And it was like not other than recording during the winter. It's just a time frame really. It's like how long it took for us to just get it out.
If you're tuning in right now, I don't know why, because you're watching a YouTube video, and that doesn't make any sense. You've probably been watching
Get
it the
to the end
entire
of it.
time. But in case you dozed off or you have short-term memory or something, you have been watching For Those Who Apply with Ed Stanley. I am Ed Stanley. I've been sitting here with Eric and Bryan. They are genuinely awesome people, and they also play genuine music that is also awesome. That didn't make any sense. Thank you very much.
Hey,
But yeah, this has been awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and
thank you, man.
I cannot wait to hear what you guys have in store for everybody.
Cool, man.
We're
Right
excited
on.
to release
We'll be in touch. We'll be doing a lot of promos and videos and all that sort of stuff to kind of just like send it out there before we actually release it. So.
I'm fucking looking forward to it, dude.
Thanks.
Nice. Yeah, and sync.